Hi, I'm Stu from HiveMind Automation and welcome to the Hive. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Kogan Smarter Home LX10 robot vacuum with mopping function. We'll take a look at the hardware, the feature set, and we'll dig into the app a little bit as well. So while I roll the intro, take a moment to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified when I release new videos each week. And let's get started. So a few weeks ago, we bought this robot vacuum from Kogan for $339 plus shipping. But at the time of writing, I've seen it on sale for $309. We chose this particular robot vacuum for a couple of reasons. This particular model has a bigger battery and better suction than many of the others in the same price range. It features 3D laser mapping and guidance so it cleans systematically rather than just bumping into things and then going off in a random direction after bumping into something. And it has smart app control that lets you create virtual walls or restricted areas without using additional hardware like ridiculous magnetic strips across the floor or light towers across areas you don't want it to clean. The mopping function didn't really factor into our decision making with this unit at all, but it was a nice bonus, and the few times that we've used it in the last few weeks, it's worked really well. If we take a look at the robot, it is in the standard overgrown hockey puck design. It's about 95 millimeters tall at the tallest point where the laser array sits, and it has a diameter of around 350 millimeters. On the bottom, like most robot vacuums, it has the two counter-rotating brushes on the corner of the leading edge to help sweep dust and debris into the hungry mouth of the robot where the main carpet brush is, and it has a fairly standard three-wheel design with the two driven wheels either side and the single caster style wheel for steering using just the two driven wheels. The driven wheels have a surprising amount of lift on the suspension available, and that seems to help the robot get up onto heavier pile rugs or carpet. And either side of the caster wheel, we've got the large charging contacts that slide onto the charging base and allow you to charge the battery there automatically. Here on the back, we have the dust bin, and that just slides out like so.
Dust bin removed.
And it talks to you when you do that.
Dust bin in position. Dust cleaning mode.
So we also have this water tank with the microfiber cleaning cloth on there, and you fill the tank with water and attach it onto the back of the robot, and it drags the microfiber pad around the floor. It uses that to clean your hard surface floors like laminate floors, tiles, and also hardwood floors. The initial setup of the app was really straightforward. The unit generates its own wireless access point for configuration, and I was able to adopt the vacuum into the ToYourSmart app in about 2 minutes. While we were doing that, we chose a name for our robot vacuum cleaner for fun. Because it's a RoboMop, which rhymes with RoboCop, and RoboCop's name was Murphy before he was roboticized, we decided to call our robot vacuum Murphy. Now, straight away in the ToYourSmart app, you see that the map gets generated as it's created in the app. There's some status information, there's controls, statistics, and some menu items. And the interface is really straightforward and self-explanatory, so it's pretty easy to figure out. I have noticed though that to trigger things like spot cleaning or area cleaning, you do have to start the auto cleaning first, which is a little bit frustrating. You can use the app to set schedules, change some preferences and other things in the app, as well as using a remote control mode to manually drive the robot around if you're wanting to do things like chase the cat. There's a spot cleaning function, area cleaning function, and auto cleaning modes. And for the mopping function, you can also then modify the volume of water being used. Some of the limitations and frustrations we've found with the app after a couple of weeks is that it occasionally forgets maps and restricted zones. And while you can create areas and name them in the app, we've not yet figured out how to pass those details through to either Google or Amazon to then be able to say things like, "Hey Alexa, tell Murphy to clean the hallway." Because of the laser mapping instead of using cameras or even just the bump sensors, Murphy does have a little bit of a hard time seeing chrome furniture legs and bumps around them to find the edges. And that's not a big deal, and it's not as if he runs around at high speed knocking everything over. On Murphy's first journey away from his charging station in our home, he decided to crawl under the bureau behind me and tried to chew on some cables that I hide under there in between video shoots. So we've since put up a temporary kick plate on there, and we'll be making permanent kick plates for that bureau in the coming weeks to stop that from happening. The water tank for the mopping function is outrageously tiny, and it can be a bit of a pain to fill up without a giant air bubble forming in there. And the last thing is, as you know, 2-year integration with Home Assistant is hit and miss with some of the accessories we've tested in the past. I'm personally not confident enough in my abilities to flash Murphy with custom firmware to then integrate him into Home Assistant just yet. But maybe one day I'll be able to make that change. Unfortunately, as it stands right now, the Home Assistant 2-year integration can't see Murphy at all. And with the standard 2-year integration, I'm unsure if this is a limitation of the Cloud API or if it's a limitation of the Home Assistant integration itself. In the meantime, I'm happy with using 2Year Smart to trigger cleaning and all of those things with the app itself. I do have a couple of concerns with privacy using 2Year Smart because all of those maps and things are being stored in the 2Year Cloud. In summary, the Kogan Smarter Home LX10 robot vacuum with mopping function is a great piece of kit that will help to save you time around the home. That being said, the first couple of times you send him around, you will find yourself following it around the house to make sure it doesn't get itself into trouble like chewing cables. Eventually, when you've got everything set up, you'll be able to set up your schedules and let the little guy roam freely around the house without supervision. Bear in mind with these units, the LiDAR or laser sensor array on the top is in the little hat. So if you are planning to have your cat or small dog pilot the robot vacuum in a shark costume, you may find that it struggles to find its way around. Unfortunately, we had to say goodbye to our cat earlier this year and never had the opportunity to test Murphy out with a pilot. We've been really impressed with the amount of dust that this unit picks up. But like any robot vacuum, it's not a substitute for a full-size vacuum on your carpets and rugs. Don't get me wrong, it does a great job, but in my opinion, I don't think it's quite got the suction or the power in the power brush to beat the dirt and dust out of a deeper pile rug or carpet. It works incredibly well on hard surfaces like the laminate flooring that dominates our floors here. It picks up dust and debris, and our laminate floors do get quite dusty, and being a darker color, that dust shows up, especially in the light. Even on the shallower pile rugs that we have around the house, it does a good job of picking up any visible dust and debris, and it does pretty well on those deeper piles as well. The mopping function does well, but it's not able to get into the corners because of the round shape of the robot, and it's obviously not exactly able to scrub extra dirty floors where you might have mud or residue that has dried onto the surface. All in all, if you are looking for a good robot vacuum, you could do a whole lot worse for a whole lot more money. And I think that this particular unit was absolutely worth the investment. That's all we have for this video, and I do hope that it helped you in your home automation journey. Be sure to comment down below with home automation ideas and tricks that you'd like to see me cover in a future video. And let me know whether or not you're using a robot vacuum in your smart home and how you're going about that. If you liked this video, hit the thumbs up button down below to give it a like. And if you're not already subscribed, please consider doing so now. While you're at it, hit the bell icon to get notified when I release new videos each week. Lastly, if you like what I'm doing here and you want to help support the channel, there is a Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description down below. Those contributions through Buy Me a Coffee help me to create more and better content for you to enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Stu from Hivemind Automation, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.